think after roll call, in the Pledge of Allegiance, I think I'll do this script.
Okay.
And so does everybody? Can you ask if everybody has the script?
Okay. Hi, does everyone on the phone have the script? Hi, who just joined the call?
Good morning, this is Kathleen.
Great. Commissioners, does everybody have the script?
What script?
Does everyone have the agenda?
I have the agenda, yes.
Okay. They do not have the script. They just have the agenda. Do we need to email them?
Yeah, I think basically, yeah. For the next meeting.
I got it.
Okay. I don't know who the script goes to.
Let me see.
Hello.
I can tell.
Yep. Social distancing. There's hand sanitizer over there if you.
It went to everybody.
Okay. Who's it from?
Chris.
Oh, you mean the video script?
Yeah, 9:17. It gives the instructions and then the script for the thank you.
Okay, but that's not for this meeting.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was.
This is for the video script for the other thing.
Hear anything?
You're fine, Commissioners. Sorry.
Okay, I thought we were doing this during this meeting.
No.
Oh, it wasn't clear.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Our apologies.
That's okay. No problem. March 31st. Is today the 31st?
It is the 31st.
That's hard to even remember now.
So we have all three commissioners on the phone, and we have John Christopherson on the phone. Is that correct? Great.
Yes, I'm on the phone.
Is it 3 commissioners or 4 commissioners on the phone?
Oh, wait. 4 commissioners. Sorry. Wait, let me just try this again. Commissioner Baker's on the phone.
Correct, I'm here.
Commissioner Holen.
I'm here.
Commissioner Conti.
Good morning.
Commissioner Jackson.
And I'm here.
Excellent. All right. I think we're ready to start whenever everyone else is. Thank you all.
Is that good enough for roll call or?
I'll defer to Jolene. I defer to legal. It has I don't know if the public hearing has been formally opened, if it counts, or.
Is the phone open? Okay. All right.
Okay.
It counts, or does it need to be when I?
It's good enough for 5 minutes.
It's okay to do it out of order.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to call the public meeting today, March 31st, 2020, Arapahoe County to order. To my left is Ron Carl, County Attorney. To my right is Jolene Sanchez, Clerk to the Board Administrator. And we have had just done phone roll call, and we have all the remaining. I'm here in the West East hearing room, and other commissioners are on the line listening. So please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag.
of the United States of America,
United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
And under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. Okay. Mr. Carl, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
No.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I so move, Bill Holen.
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Holen, seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Now going to ask if there's anyone in the audience here who would like to comment on anything that is not citizen comment on anything that is not on the agenda. Not seeing anyone, we will move on to approval of the minutes. We have one set of minutes to approve. That's February 25th, 2020, and we had a full board. I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Conti, and I would move approval of those minutes.
Jeff Baker seconds.
Motion made by Commissioner Conti, seconded by Commissioner Baker. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. We're going to move on to the consent agenda and ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved, Nancy Jackson. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. We have two public hearing items this morning. The first one is adoption of the 2020 reappropriations, reserves, and additional supplemental appropriation resolutions. Our presenter is Todd Weaver, Director of Finance. Welcome, Mr. Weaver.
I can set the foundation.
Yes, please.
At the end of the year, annual appropriations expire and unspent balances revert to the unappropriated fund balance. It is necessary to reauthorize expenditures which were authorized but unspent in a prior year. In addition, the board will need to designate the fund amounts to be committed for board policy reserves. The record should reflect that notice of 5 resolutions for the reappropriation of the unspent 2019 budget and designation of board policy reserves was published in the March 26, 2020 issue of the Villager newspaper. Therefore, the board has jurisdiction to consider these issues.
Thank you, Mr. Carr. Mr. Weaver.
Good morning, Board.
Welcome.
Before you have 5 resolutions today to consider. The first resolution deals precisely with what Attorney Carl just referenced. It is the reappropriation resolution to reappropriate amounts from the 2019 budget into the 2020 budget. To allow that spending to be completed, those could be for such things as purchase orders, grants, capital projects, capital assets, and other things that carry from one fiscal year into the next. That first resolution covers an addition of $2.6 million for the general fund and another $89 million for the remainder of the funds within the county. Within that $89 million is $41 million for the remaining balance of prior year collections and unspent monies from the Open Space Sales and Use Tax Fund, as well as $32.5 million from unspent balances of construction projects in the Roadway Improvement Infrastructure Fund from prior years. There's also $4 million for the Equipment Replacement Fund that will be added to the 2020 budget from prior year unspent funds. All total, there is $92.4 million of additional spending that will be added to the 2020 budget for items that were not completed in a prior fiscal period. A second resolution is included in what is to be considered this morning, and that is the designation of reserves for the funds that the board has set a policy reserve for. Among them is the general fund. The general fund reserve for 2020 will be just under $21.9 million. The Road and Bridge Fund, that represents 1/6 of their annual operating budget, that'll be just shy of $2.6 million for the reserve. The Social Services Fund is $2.3 million. That is 20% of 1/6 of the annual operating budget. And then finally, in the Arapahoe Law Enforcement Authority Fund, $1.5 million, which is 1/6 of their annual operating. So that is the second resolution that you'll be considering today. The third resolution ties to the 2020 budget. It also is related to reappropriations. For some projects within the Infrastructure Improvement Fund for Public Works, there are a number of projects in 2020 carrying over from 2019, mainly the ILF Avenue Corridor project, as well as the Quincy Gun Club interchange, where we're expecting a significant amount of federal funding to come in. Once we expend those funds, we will receive those on a reimbursement basis. In order to facilitate those projects moving forward and not to wait to the first quarter, we've added an additional resolution that adds about $21 million in revenue for the infrastructure fund, offset by $21 million in additional spending authority for those 2 specific projects. And then finally, there are 2 additional resolutions this morning that deal with the 2019 budget. as the accountants have gone through the year-end data and had to make the various journal entries to and from 19 and 20 as things get sorted out, we realized that the coroner's office budget, due to their workload in 2019, is slightly over their appropriation by about $1,800. Therefore, we have included a $5,000 supplemental to the coroner's office budget for 2019 to ensure that they do not exceed their appropriation. And then finally, due to the refinancing of the Aqua PID bonds from 2009 that occurred in December of 2019, the accountants need to record that activity as $56 million in revenue for receiving money as proceeds from the refinancing, as well as the expense of $56 million to cancel the outstanding debt that was refunded from 2009. So there's a resolution to increase the revenue and the appropriations for the PID fund by $56 million, and those are offsetting. So with that, that's the contents of the 5 resolutions before you this morning. I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have on the content.
Board members, do you have any questions?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Jackson.
Todd, I just want to double check that this is looking backwards as to what we have done, not so much looking forward, because my hunch is that there will be changes due to our current circumstances. Is that correct?
Yes. All the resolutions today either correct something from 2019 or continue spending for something that was already appropriated with prior year funds into 2020 to allow those activities to be finished.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Any other commissioner questions? Okay. Is there anyone I'll now open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this issue? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Mr. Carl, is it acceptable to have a motion to adopt all of these? Let me ask the board, do you have any issues first with adopting all of these at one time, if we can do that?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner?
The motion that's in our packet is for adopting the 4. So
right.
There must be an assumption somewhere that that's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure nobody wanted to have something pulled off.
Yeah.
5.
Listen to the others.
It's actually 5. It does say 4, but in the motion, but it's 5.
That's my mistake. There's 5 resolutions this morning.
Okay,
The
Mr. Carl.
motion we...
Yes.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes, it is appropriate to do them all in one resolution.
Them all as one
And
resolution.
just again to clarify for whoever's going to make that motion, it's 5 resolutions, not 4.
Okay, Commissioner Baker.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, but I would go ahead and read the motion if that's okay.
That's fine. Please, go ahead.
I move to adopt the 4 supplemental appropriation resolutions for the 2020 reappropriation of funds from the prior year, those amending the 2020 and 2019 budgets, as well as an additional resolution to designate fund balance policy reserves that were presented to the board at a study session on March 17, 2020, and brought forward for today's public hearing and for formal adoption.
Great, thank you. So it's 4 with 1 additional resolution, which is a total of 5, just for clarification. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Baker, seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. So we'll go to our second public hearing, and that is 2020 Annual Community Development Block Grant Action Plan. And our presenter is Linda Haley, Housing and Community Development Division Manager, Community Resources. And Mr. Carl, would you cover the foundation, please?
Yes. Notice of this public hearing was published as required, and so the board has jurisdiction to proceed.
Thank you. Ms. Haley.
Thank you, everyone. So the purpose of this public hearing is to approve the 2020 Annual Action Plan for our Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Funds, and to authorize submission of that plan to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The plan was reviewed with the board on February 18th, 2020, and the staff recommendations were approved. We have since held the 30-day public comment period, which was published, and so we have had no public comments related to the plan and are ready to move forward now with submission.
Thank you, Ms. Haley. On the phone, are there any commissioner questions? Okay. Hearing no questions from the board, I'll open the public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to speak on this issue, please let me know. Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Jackson.
Okay. Somehow my screen got messed up. Okay. I move to approve the 2020 one-year action plan, including the proposed Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, and Home Investment Partnership, HOME, project, as presented on March 31st, 2020, and to authorize submittal of the 2020 one-year action plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Is there a second?
Second, Bill Holland.
Thank you, Commissioner. Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Holan. Please, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. And we'll go to commissioner comments. I just want to say it's a little surreal being in here and doing this by phone, but I want to thank everybody, our commissioners, our staff. Certainly, we have a lot of thank yous to our community and want everybody to stay healthy, and to our first responders, our caseworkers, staff, our sheriff's department, all those folks that are doing a great job across the county during these kind of strange and difficult times. So I know on behalf of our board, we want to thank everybody sincerely, our staff, the community, for doing everything they can to keep us all safe. So other commissioner comments?
Nancy Jackson, I would certainly echo what you have to say. There's a lot of people out there doing really hard work, and they're doing it to protect all of us. And there's a lot of unsung heroes out there, and many of them are working for the county, and they should know how much we really do appreciate them. So my gratitude, my personal gratitude, goes out to all those who are nurses, doctors, first responders, county employees, people in grocery stores, delivery people, everybody who is working so hard to keep the rest of us safe.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson.
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Conti.
Yes, thank you. I just want to also add my personal thanks to those that are in our IT department, as well as our road crews that have been out and, when we've had snowstorms and so forth, and continuing to be on the front lines, doing the work to keep the county rolling, that those that need to come into the office and so forth. I so appreciate their continued service and sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Conti. Anyone else? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. I will call the meeting adjourned.